In this section, we are going to talk about all the different parties who are involved in the development of a product. So it's not only the Scrum team, but one of the most important member is the product owner. And of course, the product owner coordinates between the Scrum team and the stakeholders as well as the customers. There's also a very important member, which is the Scrum Master, which helps the Scrum team ensure they are doing okay and removing impediments. So let's start with the product owner. Product owners specifically is the representative and the voice of the customer. They also represent the stakeholders. For example, those who are funding the project and those who are going to be expecting certain return from the project. They're also in the process of coordinating with them and ensuring that their interests are taken care of. The product owner ensures the Scrum team works only on those items that produces value. So basically, they're also ensuring the economic returns of the activities are kept in mind. The product owner also is involved in writing the requirements, typically in a user story format. If he doesn't write it all by himself, he's very actively involved with the team, with the Scrum Master in the development of the user stories. One of the other key role is to identify and prioritize the different user stories, the functions that would be released ahead of the others, and this is done according to the maximum value that can be generated for all responsible. Let's look at this slide, which talks about the typical day at different stages of a product. So the product owner in the very beginning is focused about understanding, envisioning, and making portfolio level decisions. And as you see, moving forward, he's involved in the development of the product backlog. He's also constantly involved in grooming the product backlog together with the Scrum Master and the Scrum team. And he's also involved during the planning for the sprint, at least in the sprint planning 1. He's involved at the sprint review. In fact, he's also responsible for setting the criteria of what is done, and he's also involved with the release planning as well as the whole product's life cycle. A product owner responsibility can be summarized under the following. He manages the economics of the whole activity. He participates in planning. He is involved with the grooming of the product backlog, defines acceptance criteria and verify that they are met, collaborate with the development team, collaborate with the stakeholders. The product owner ensures the Scrum team works only on. His primary job is to remove impediments to the ability of the team to deliver the sprint goals. The product owner also is involved in writing the requirements, typically in a user story format. If he doesn't write it all by himself, he's very actively involved with the team, with the Scrum Master in the development of the user story. So let's start with the product owner. Product owners specifically is the representative and the voice of the customer. So enforcing of rule definitely is one of the key activity for the Scrum Master. The product owner ensures the Scrum team works only on those items that produces value. So let's summarize his role as a coach, as a servant leader, process authority, interference shield, impediment remover, and the change agent. The Scrum team has the responsibility to deliver the product in each iteration. Typically, it's a 5 to 9 member team with cross functional skill, and they work as a single unit to move the product forward to make the iteration successful with the shippable increments happening at the end of every sprint. So enforcing of rule definitely is one of the key activity for the Scrum Master. The product owner ensures the Scrum team works only on those items that produces value. So basically, they're also ensuring the economic returns of the activities are kept in mind. The other key members who are not directly participating but are important to the project would be the stakeholders. These are the people who enables the project. The Scrum team has the responsibility to deliver the product in each iteration. And the role of managers. So there's a lot of confusion at times where, since it's always said that the Scrum teams are self-managed, is there a role for managers at all? Of course there is, and they are basically involved in these activities. Like most of the time, the self-managed part happens inside the sandbox, but the person setting up this sandbox, these projects, would be the managers, as well as they're the one who defines the composition of the team, who would be in the team, and thereafter they do the self-management part. So they are the one setting up the environment and ensuring the success of the overall project.